Yes, sir. Ms. Raphael?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Council President Jamal Thomas. I will not be attending tonight's meeting because there's no need for me to be there. Those members of City Council who called this meeting are doing so outside of our jurisdiction. We are overreaching and stepping on the toes of the city's administration. Therefore, I will not be present at this meeting. I will not participate in this sham. And I want the people of Highland Park to know for a fact that I am not a participant in this episode that we're about to see. So the people who are there, you go right ahead and take whatever steps you need to. It's my understanding that all the appropriate measures were taken by Avalon Village prior to this, and this is some last ditch effort to tarnish the efforts, the wonderful efforts of Avalon Village.
I'm calling the special meeting under the city charter section 5.3b. I, Councilman Rashida Shafi, with support of Councilwoman Taylor Martin, request the Highland Park City Clerk Brenda Green to call a special meeting of the City Council for the purpose of conducting City Council business for the agenda items listed below. This special meeting of the City Council shall be held at the place of regular meetings on July 26, 2024 at 6 p.m. Business items to be transacted at this special meeting shall be to discuss and vote if the council will approve an outdoor event concert for Avalon Village to take place on July 30th, 2024 from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Madam Clerk, will you take the roll, please?
Councilman Ashafi.
Here.
Councilwoman Martin.
Here.
Councilwoman Manica. Council President Thomas. Council Pro Tem Robinson.
Present. Councilman Rashid, Councilwoman Martin.
Okay, so, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 applications here. Each one of them are different. If somebody to speak to them, I would really appreciate it. Either the event planner or the city, if the mayor is here, they may choose to speak to it. Okay, so,
The mayor is here. What is your question?
okay, so, I got 4 applications here. Which one of them is actually the application that we're going with? Because each one of them are different. The times are different on each one of them. I got one on one.
Those applications were all the applications that were submitted by the Avalon Village for approval. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What are you saying?
I still mad at me. Okay, well, we got different times here, from 12 p.m. to 9 a.m. From 11:30 to 12:30 a.m. From 11:30 to 12:30 a.m. From 7 to 11. From 12 to 11. From 11 to 12 a.m. And then this one here is from 2 to 11 p.m. and then 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. So what are the exact times that this event is going to be held?
So which event are we talking about? We're talking about the
Councilman.
Everybody, but if everybody could have a seat, Ms. Harris is perfectly fine.
well, they're on the application.
Okay,
These
yeah,
brothers
yeah,
right here,
I
this
just see one
brother
of y'all
and this
speak,
brother,
that's it.
these 2 brothers. Y'all can step up, please.
So you want one application at a time?
Yes.
Are you talking to me? Are you referring to me, Councilman, or who are you talking to? Because I don't know who you're talking to.
1 second, Madam Mayor, I was talking to Mrs. Harris.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, so, okay. Let's go with application 1 here. It says number of participants 100.
When you say application one,
Sorry, C. It's marked C.
Can I see that, please?
Yes,
So I can see it
absolutely.
close.
Absolutely.
So this application is not the one that we're talking about this evening. This is the Hungry Black Man application. This is another one. What I did was is that I put all of the other ones because I filled out the information way in advance so that I can have everything done. So this is that the only one that we're looking at right now is the one 730.
I got you. Look at all three of these. Show me which one is the application we are looking at for tonight. For applications here. Not worried about the hungry man, because that's not even happening anytime soon.
Can I ask a question? Which application are we looking at tonight?
The one for KRS one concert that's gonna be held on Avalon Village, Tuesday, the 30th.
Okay.
Okay, so that means 5 applications.
Can I ask another question, Councilman? Do those applications happen to have dates on them for the events? Okay.
She's searching for right now.
I just want to make sure.
Right here, looks like duplicates. So we have an event tomorrow. And we have, this is the one for Paris. And these two right here look like duplicates for the manifest. Two productions.
This is the KRS one with the black dot at the top. See it? It's mine. This is the KRS one. It's got the top one is gonna be like that. Okay. So my issue, Eric, how you say last name? Kurt. Kurt, okay. Kurt. Okay. Okay, so here's how we looking at this. Actually, the other ones they got attendance amounts, but this one seems to be missing.
I believe maybe about 2,000 people. 2,000.
Okay.
And also I want to speak before we do all of this and the questioning and everything. We have already been approved by the mayor. I have an email from the mayor. I've submitted all my insurance documents. I've submitted the application way in advance, some of them a month and a half in advance. And we've already gotten approval and just wondering why we're here right now.
Okay, okay. So Ms. Harris, what's missing is the mayor, without a doubt, she manages and controls all city property. The problem is that your property is not city-owned property. This is a private entity. And the private entity must fill out an application form to hold an event of this scale. Not to mention the fact that this particular event that you're trying to do is well beyond the scope of the zoning for this particular event, okay? We're talking about 2,000 people on an open street. If you're going to have 2,000 people, you're at least looking at another 1,500 people on top of that, which means that at least 500 to 600 people are going to sneak in without paying. I can't see how the sheriff's department is going to be able to cover that open area with that many people. I guarantee you, they're not going to bring it.
Completely incorrect. As the chairman of the zoning board, he is completely incorrect.
Okay, Mr. Jamal Thomas, if you're not here for me, please be quiet. Okay, so it's just our concern. It's our concern that things may get out of hand, okay? So there was a similar instance, there was a similar event in Detroit that happened, okay? And I'm sure you all remember, okay? Big block party, big block party, thousands of people showed up, 25 people shot, 5 people hurt. And that's when Detroit cracked down on these type of events at that point, okay? Now, we're not saying that we're against this particular event. We just think that Avalon Village is not the place for it. I think since the mayor controls and operates city-owned property, why did she not offer you Hatchet Field? It would be ideal. It's enclosed. The police can watch who's coming in and who's coming out. You have both sides of the field to park on, plenty of street to park on, and you have all the space in the world to hold this concert to accommodate that many people. Avalon Village can accommodate 2,000 people.
So I want to speak on that. Avalon Village, first of all, is a private property. And basically we do things for the community, so they're invited there. Contrary to what you are talking about, last year we had MapFest. MapFest was over there, and we had approximately 2,000 people over there without anything going on, security and all of that. Also, for the Hungry Black Man Festival, we had 10,000 people on the block. It was a beautiful event. All of the vendors were on each side of the road. The Highland Park Police came, they walked through, no problem. And so we're just basically armed up extra with the sheriffs. And then again, and I'm just going to repeat this, is that our application was approved by the mayor. I did all the documentation as it relates to liability. My insurance was there. I even submitted an insurance paper for next year's activities as well. We had no issues at all. So I'm here because I don't understand why I'm here. And administration already approved. Hold on, let me finish. And administration already approved our application. So I'm really confused of why I am sitting here right now being asked about the event. And it's 11 o'clock, basically, 11:55, 11:59 on the event right now, and it's on Tuesday. No one said anything or anything. And then also, Ms. Martin, you're actually my city council person. If there was a problem, me and you have spoke before. If there was an issue, you could have came and spoke to me about it. I'm one of your constituents. You could have clearly had a conversation with me as we've had conversations before. This didn't even have to get to me, this point right here. So I'm going to say again, I'm standing here right here with an approval for my concert and for things to go on in the village on private property. And I provided an insurance document that covers this year and next year also, 24, 25. And I even got into a working relationship with the Wayne County Sheriffs because of the caliber of the artist that is coming, KRS-One. I thought it would be a beautiful thing for him to come here. I thought it would be a beautiful, beautiful event for our community to enjoy. And that is why we do the things that we do in Avalon Village. It's private property. I have always gotten all of the permissions that I was supposed to get and talk to the mayor. So again, I don't understand why I'm here and I already have an approval.
Because unfortunately, Ms. Harris, and I'm not being rude or nasty, the administration has overstepped its bounds. For something of this magnitude, you must have city council's approval. Okay, just like when they had to have approval for the Park of Pride Parade, just like when they had to have approval for the Juneteenth Parade. You're talking about shutting down major streets, redirecting traffic.
No, I'm not.
I'm sorry. Look at it. I remember the last events that were held. Okay, I had several residents tell me people parked on their lawns, people blocked their driveways. They disrupted 4 blocks going to the right of you, and they disrupted 4 blocks going to the left. And I also had people on Fair Park and McLean telling me that they had nowhere to park because they had filled up the entire area over there. Okay, it's not a matter of us being difficult. It's a matter of where's the compromise here. You're going to do this on a Tuesday, on a working day, in the city of Highland Park, over 2,000 people in an open space, and you really think that the sheriff's department can control and ensure that this doesn't get out of hand?
Actually, I do. As I said before, there was 10,000 people on the block last year for the Hungry Black Man. There was not one issue. Maybe the parking, there wasn't any issues that put people in danger. The thing that was really happened was there may have been parking up, but here's the thing too, it's summertime. This stuff only happens once a year. All summer long, winter long, there's not things happening. This is only summertime. In a lot of cities, there's always a lot of events popping off. There's different things that's going on. There's block parties and all of that. We've been courteous to make sure that we stop at 11 o'clock when we do our events. I've made sure that I've presented all of the necessary documents and everything. The overflow is because people just come and they just love to be in the space. It's also bring a lot of economic value to the city as well. Hold on one second. Sorry. Also, I wouldn't say what the sheriffs them couldn't control. You're saying that because that's your perspective. I've talked to Mr. Washington. He said a number of sheriffs are going to be here. We're going to have about 11 or 12. Also to support Highland Park, because we don't have a lot of police officers. And I do understand that there may be security and wanted to really, really make sure that we padded that up. But again, I'm trying to understand why I'm here, because it was already approved through the mayor who administrates these issues and these applications. All of these, we've had this event last year.
And it should have been approved by council.
No one said anything last year. No one said any, hold on one second. Let
Excuse me.
Let me finish.
Ms. Harris, Ms. Harris, I want to address something real quick. Could
I get 3 minutes, or am I up here to discuss this, Ms. Martin? Ms. Martin, do I get
Can
3?
we time it so everybody gets a chance to be heard? Because I can't hear everybody.
Okay.
I'll get a whole headache. I do not want, we can't do this.
Okay.
This can't run like this.
Yeah.
My phone's not that. Thank you, I appreciate it. Somebody please. Thank you.
We acknowledge that.
When did you come in, Ms. Megan?
I came down late. Sorry for my charge.
Oh, okay.
I had an emergency.
Sorry.
That's
I
okay.
didn't even see you came in.
That's all right.
Because I want to hear other people. I know the supporters, I want to hear that.
So as far,
How many blocks? Which blocks are these blocks?
just one,
Woodward to Second?
yes. Woodward to 2nd Avenue. I've also put in other street closures for other events and had no issues with it. The largest crowd that we started having was the one for Map Fest. We have some young folks from Rock Local who we are collaborating with on an event tomorrow. And we had about 1,500 people over there. And all of those young folks, everything was in order. We didn't even have the Wayne County sheriffs there. So everything was in order. The next event that we had that was very large was the Hungry Black Man who came the next month. And so parking may have been an issue with people getting in people's driveways and all of that. And we talked about that. We've gotten volunteers, as well as hired another security company, as well as the crew that the sheriff's department is bringing.
Ms. Harris, have you signed an indemnification form relieving the city of any and all liability or something else? Has that form been presented to you?
I haven't seen a form like that. I only have the activities form. I was told to submit my insurance papers, and that's what I did.
Madam Mayor?
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Is there a reason why she hasn't been given an indemnity form to absolve the city of any and all liability if something goes wrong?
There is no form that goes with the application that you asked me a question.
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, go right ahead.
There is no form that it goes with the application that is presented for special events under indemnity. They ask for insurance to cover the city for any liability that happens on the property that is related to the city, which is the street, the sidewalk, and whatever properties that the city own on Avalon Village on the street. That is the coverage that we are asked for. That is what is presented. If there's a liability form, we do not have that, never seen that, haven't seen anyone ever present that in any form of fashion. There is a waiver that was created by individuals who sign off, but there is no indemnity form that we have to fit or to form at this time. There has not been one presented to me since I've been in office, but there's a form that can be created if that.
I would
But
appreciate that.
I am saying to this day, and approval of, you didn't have one even for the parade or the parade that you all permitted to have on for Juneteenth. There was no forms presented by Miss Fry for her event. There was none of those presented with the application. So I'm asking, is there a form that you all would like to create and approve? Because we can have the lawyers look into that and have that approved.
Madam Mayor, the reason I asked that question is because unlike the parade, unlike Parker Pride Parade, which was a community event, unlike Juneteenth, which was a community event, we're talking about KRS-One. KRS-One is bigger than LL Cool J and Snoop Dogg wrapped together.
I know who he is.
KRS-One is the god. I understand that, Madam Mayor. He's the godfather of rap. He's one of the last existing old school rappers. So wherever he shows up, a crowd is going to show up. So you're talking about rap plus BYOB, bring your own boobs, plus people who can't afford to pay, who are going to attempt to crash. I see a lot of problems. I see a lot of headaches for the surrounding communities in those areas. I see a lot of problems.
Councilman.
So all I am simply asking
First,
is
I'm not saying that there cannot be. I am saying there's no
form so that it can be signed before Tuesday. I don't want to shut the project down. I don't want to turn it off. I just want to reach a compromise.
All right, so.
It's got to be a compromise.
If there,
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wanted to recognize Keith William from Wayne County Sheriff's.
I still want to address the, I still want to address this form. So if there's a form created by the lawyers that is to form and fits our ordinances and our because I asked you to send me the ordinance that you were referring to that gives permission
I'll
to the
send
council.
it to Mr. Bosnick. I
asked you to send it to him and me, but okay, I'll get it from
okay,
him.
I didn't know you. I didn't know I was supposed to send it to you too, Madam Mayor. I would have sent it. I didn't know.
Yeah, because we have
Mr.
not been able to find that ordinance. So if you have it, I would like to see it. And if there is a form that you all would like to create or would like for the lawyers to create, then that's not a problem. But there has not been a form a form for application, because these are the applications from the previous administration. These are the same applications, just name change. And so none of this is different.
Madam Mayor, is Avalon Village zoned for such an activity? Is that neighborhood zoned for that?
It's part of a TOD.
It's mixed use.
Okay. So question, why wasn't that submitted to this council?
Why wasn't
I asked that question several times since I found out about it. I didn't know about this event until Tuesday of this week.
Who did you ask?
And the only way I found out about it was I was thumbing through Chris Woodard's newspaper, and there it was.
Who did you ask for a TOD?
Nobody said anything to the council about it. Nobody.
I'm asking you a question. Who did you ask? You're over
Why wasn't
talking.
something like that given to the council?
Who did you ask for that form? Who did you ask for the zoning?
I asked Mr. Bosnick on the phone. He was supposed to get back to me, but he never did.
Okay, so I know nothing of that.
Okay,
so
if you did not
and
I'm sure that he's not gonna lie about that.
If he didn't ask me, then I don't know anything about it. He did not say you asked him anything, so I cannot get you a form.
I specifically asked him about zoning. I asked him, was Avalon Village zoned for that type of activity? He told me, and I quote him, I have to get back to you on the council.
When you are sending out,
That was Wednesday.
again, when you're sending out requests, and we've talked about this numerous times, you go through the mayor's, or even with Mr. Bosnick or anybody, you go through the mayor's office and I will have him send that to you. But because you did not send it to me, I knew nothing of it. And so at this point, this is the first I'm hearing of you wanting to know what was the zoning.
So legal doesn't inform you about the questions I asked. Unless I send it directly to you, you don't know anything about it. So legal just acts like they don't know anything.
I asked you to make sure that every email that is resent before it even goes to legal is supposed to come to me. And if it comes to me,
hold on a second. What's interesting was I called John Clark, but Mr. Bosnick called me back.
Okay, Mr. Bosnick is the person who handles. He handles the city council.
So when he reached out to me and I expressed to him how I felt and what my concerns were, I thought those concerns would automatically be relayed to you, but apparently they were not.
According to the charter, councilman, and we've repeated this numerous times, any request must come through the mayor's office, and I will forward it to them, get the information, or either tell them, go ahead, please send that to them. That way I have a record.
Well,
Madam Mayor, there's no record of
experience there. It's been my experience that when we do that,
no, you don't do it. You don't send that to me. You send it. What you do? Let me just say what you said. No, sir. We're going to be correct about that. What you did is tag me in it. Let's be correct. What you do is tag me in it and say, Mr. John Clark, can you send me? You do not say, Mayor, can you have the attorney please send us? So you're not sending it to me. You're just putting me on there. The rules in the charter says you must go through the charter. So I know nothing of it.
Has nothing to do with what we're here for right now.
Yes, Councilwoman. Okay, point of information here. So we've already stopped that conversation. We're here for Ms. Harris. I just had a question first before we get started. Everybody up there wants to make a comment. I know we're gonna see you in 1 second, Sheriff, but everybody else, you have to make a comment?
Well, they're part of the application. They're actually on the application.
Okay, and so can I ask you this, come around there for me, please?
I did want to ask one question.
Okay, no, we're gonna go with the sheriff.
Okay,
first,
yeah.
And then, so if I just step back just slightly. Thank you.
To this honorable body, I represent the sheriff. I'm the director of the community outreach team. He told me to come here and say he's in support of the event. We have the power to shut anything down if it gets out of hand.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Keith D. Williams. We're not gonna put people's safety in harm. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If it's all right, Ms. Harris, can we hear the other two guys?
Yes,
that's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Karan Wilkerson, senior. I'm sorry. Highland Park. Absolutely. Karan, yes. Yep. I guess my question to you, Councilman, are you the only one opposing this event right now?
I'm not opposing this event at all.
Okay, are you? Okay, cool. And so what exactly precisely what we need to do to give you absolute comfort to make this event go off without a hitch?
I just want to be sure that one, the residents in the surrounding neighborhoods are not going to be inconvenienced. I don't want no drama. I don't want no violence.
Good.
I don't want no murder. No
Good.
killing. I don't want nothing that happened.
Good. Good.
The city is too small.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. And I agree.
No problem with KRS-One. Roll up, listen to it. Still listen to it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So I want to talk about Highland Park for 1 minute. When I was a kid growing up in Highland Park, we had this beautiful festival that happened on Manchester. It wasn't a festival, it was a carnival that happened on Manchester. And so throughout throughout time, it eventually got a little bit more dangerous and they eventually shut it down. I don't know if that's why they shut it down. I don't know if it was funds due to that, but I know it got more dangerous towards the end of it. Since then, it's not been a lot of big events going on in the city. That was one of the things that was disturbing to me as a citizen of Highland Park. So what I set out to do a long time ago, probably about 20 years ago, was to create safe spaces for people who do music and do entertainment in the media world so that they can enjoy and do what they do in spaces without creating trouble. So that bubble that we have created has manifested itself right there on Woodward and Glendale. We have mostly young people under the age of 35 who congregate on a regular basis, have a good time, and we've not had one bad incident.
Okay.
So the energy that we bring, what we are trying to bring to Highland Park and show to the world is that Highland Park as a city can come together, congregate on a large scale without any issues. Not only are we trying to prove that, we are showing that every single day, week in and week out. Highland Park police come up to our event, and when they come up with welcome and open arms because of the experience that we've created for our community. It's a safe space, and that's what we preach. The energy of all of these individuals that's sitting out here, we all bring that exact same energy, and we exude that out when we go out into the public. So not only do I believe that we have proper security, parking, everything that we heard last year that were issues, I think that we took those under complete consideration and made sure that we logistically tried to manage those things as well as we can, including getting to Wayne County, including hiring on-site security. I think that we're doing everything that would be required to make sure that the people that we love in our city and our community are safe. And I want y'all to give us faith and show us that y'all believe that we can do that. Just stand behind us and let's show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all what Highland Park and these young people right here can do, because we do it every single week. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
And this is my son right here.
Okay.
I'm Karan Jr. I want to say first and foremost that I appreciate having the opportunity for all of us, mayor, you, the council, having these conversations, because I believe that the only way that I, as a business owner, I, as a resident of Highland Park, and the youth of Highland Park, I believe it's the only way we can grow is if we're all having these conversations together. So I appreciate you bringing this to all of our attentions, the issues that brought us here today. As Mama Shu mentioned, Ms. Harris mentioned earlier, we've had countless, we had a great time last year for the event that we had over at Avalon Village, which was at the time one of the biggest. And that was before Hungry Black Man, which I did go and I saw. So to know that the logistics that the mayor brought to me as a part of her youth committee, she told me, she was like, you did Met Fest? I didn't know that. And she told me some of the things that the residents said to her. So that way I could be mindful, because I don't get, again, and without conversations like this, I don't get all of that correspondence and all of the things, you know what I mean? So that gave us the opportunity, like my father said, to just make sure that we had designated parking spots, designated parking lots. We're even going as far as to point out other parking spaces in Highland Park that are allowed. And we're going to be doing shuttling for people, for our customers, that we're going to be promoting, you know what I mean? So that way people can know that we care about what, we don't want people parking on people's lawns and in people's driveways. That's not what we want. And it's also not really the core of our crowd. Those are the people that you refer to as sneaking in and all, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like the extras you can't account for, but we're going to do such a great job preparing for the people that we already accounted for, that any extra riffraff we'll be able to take care of with no problem.
I want to speak on, also, I want to additionally speak on Pegasus. Pegasus company is coming out. They are providing 65 barriers. So the barriers will be around so that we won't have people come sneak in. And then also the nature of KRS-One is mostly a mature crowd. It's mostly people who can chill out, mostly people who are not about that rah-rah. A lot of times they want to come, they just want to come and enjoy. They're bringing their lawn chairs and they're sitting there bringing their families and all of that. So Pegasus will be providing an actual barrier around there. And I believe in my application, I noted that.
Do we have any other people who needs to speak?
Council Pro Tem. What's very important is to hear what the residents of Highland Park have to say before anybody else. If they can speak first. Okay. Residents of Highland Park, please first.
Ms. Harris, you can.
Good evening.
Thank you, Michelle.
Okay. My name is Janet Spike White, and I've been waiting for this opportunity because I can't see how you can beautify neighborhood with what's going on. There's people that live in this community. I hear and get a lot of feedback as far as where I live. We are a neighborhood. That is entirely, please, too many people. Take it to Hackett Field, take it to, what is the field name now? It's under, what's his name, the football player, but Reggie McKenzie, I'm sorry. I've been in Highland Park over 60-something years. I mean, how much are they giving back to the city? It's not about the money. It's not about the money. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not about the money. It's about if you go someplace that's gonna hold 2,000, 10,000 people, you gotta rent space. Okay? Oh, I gave my life here. Please. Okay? But okay, city council, please hear me. I live within the community to beautify. Hey, help put down some sod, some grass, some flowers. That's how you beautify and teach this community. Don't make this paint on the homework house. That is so tacky. When I ride and see that paint on the building, that's not where people want to live with paint outside on bricks. Take this. You won't see this in the suburbs. Make this community look better. And I do not. There's people that live on that block that they are being forced to listen to this. And it's not fair. It's not fair at all. And I thank you, council. Please consider.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Malone.
Anybody?
Pardon? Highland Park. Peace. My name is Aziza Brent. I am a resident of Highland Park. I also grew up here for a portion of my life. I've lost two brothers in Highland Park, one on Rhode Island and one on Avalon. I came back home because I've been gone 11 years to try to give back to my community and to grow food for my community and to give love to my community. I'm Mama Shu's oldest daughter, and I haven't lost as much as she have, but she is here in this city. I don't know how she's doing it, and losing two sons. I don't know how she's doing it over there. I do not know, but I came to support her as her daughter. And however we need to try to compromise with the council, we would like to work with the city. We would like the support of the city because we are trying to do wonderful things. We do give back to the city. Every other week, we give out fruits and vegetables. We give out chairs. We give out fans to the elderly. Every single other Saturday, literally every other Saturday, we give to the community. I give to the people that walk down the street all the time, the vegetables that I just started growing a couple months ago. So we do add to the community in more than those ways. We give art classes. We have sewing classes. Who knows how to sew? What children do you know that know how to sew? Children, they have crochet classes. We have archery. We have martial arts. We have drum class. We have African dance. I'm in there teaching children about basil. Do you understand? I'm in there teaching children about collard greens and kale and things that they do not eat on the normal basis. In 2 weeks, I will be giving out approximately, yes, sir.
This meeting is out of order. Is there a motion on the floor? We have been going on for 30 minutes. Is there a motion? Ma'am, you will be able to speak.
So I'm going to
Excuse me, ma'am. You will be able to speak. This is the city council meeting, and I'm the president of the city council. This meeting was not called to order with a motion on the floor. We are having a conversation to entertain ourselves. This is a special meeting for a purpose. You will be allowed to speak, madam. I'm asking the members of city council, what are we doing? We're having a special meeting. Did anybody hear a motion? Okay, so why are we here? City council, why are we here? I will entertain a motion. As the chair, I am sitting. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a motion to have a brief recess for 5 minutes, just a brief recess.
We don't need recess.
They don't need a recess. We have all of these people here. These people called this meeting. There is not a motion on the floor. This whole meeting is out of order.
You say you weren't coming to the meeting.
And it's a farce because I'm here because this is my community and this is a farce. I respect your sister, but what's happening here is there's no votes. There's nothing to be voted on. There has been no motion.
Motion was just made.
You made a motion for a recess. This is a special meeting. We can only address what is on the agenda for the special meeting.
Right, I support.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Excuse me, Madam Clerk. Would you take pause, please? The chairman is here. Ms. Manica, what are we recessing for, ma'am?
I need to regroup to understand what is taking place and also what we're here for. So I just think she needs that 5-minute space. Support.
We still are having a meeting right now, and this meeting is completely out of order because it was called as a special meeting to do what? I will wait for the people who called it. The special meeting was called today to do what?
To discuss the possible.
We call a special meeting for a vote.
If you let me finish,
Go right ahead, Corey.
if you let me finish, my name is Proceed, douchebag.
Okay,
Get it together.
okay,
Now, if you gonna get ugly, I get ugly along with you.
okay. We can do that. Let me dig into my files. I'm asking you people a question. Why are we here?
Now, like I said.
Why are we here?
As I said.
Why are we here?
We're here.
Before you answer that, there is a motion on the floor.
Exactly. You're right, Miss Manica. I apologize.
Miss Manica, would you please restate your motion for the record?
Yes, the motion is going to take a 5-minute recess.
It's a board. Never, like, you can't succeed.
We got a motion on the floor right now.
Madam Clerk, right now there's a motion among members of City Council to take a recess for a meeting that has not been called to order. Would you be kind enough to take the roll on that recess?
Council President Thomas,
Yes, to recess.
Council Pro Tem Robinson,
Yes.
Councilman Ashafi,
Yes, ma'am.
Councilwoman Martin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Manica.
Yes.
Okay, we will be in recess for 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Please remain seated. Please stay. When we're finished, ma'am, you'll be the first person that's allowed to speak, okay?
I'll be adjourning in here for a second.
Yes.
3 or more people is a quorum. 3 or more people is a
Oh,
quorum.
we know that already.
So I have.
We already know that.
Okay. 3 or more people is a quorum. I told you, if you ever want to talk to me, you know where.
Yeah, I sure do. Same thing.
Boy, oh boy, got a pink sock,
She read the announcement.
ready to wear.
Council Pro Tem read the announcement. And she had read. And then we went into the legal. Where's your legal advice? I don't, I'm not.
Mr. Bosnick is online.
I'm not getting it.
Okay, no, I just know that she answered me, but I.
Yeah, I know, you snuck in.
I can tell you what time I came.
I can tell you what time you came in too. This is. See, that's called the audience to get out of control.
Yeah, that's what I expected as well.
Because you got one side against the other side.
It is. This is a clown show. I couldn't take it. I'm halfway across town and I drove.
The recording will. So, and I said, all the time, I just didn't know where it's called. I know, I'm just saying what.
With Ms. Black and.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yeah, we started. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what they wrote.
Right, now, I can find real quick.
Okay.
I found that on my phone. You have that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna call the meeting back to order, and for all of the citizens who are here tonight, thank you. I love to see this room filled. It's unfortunate that we are here on a Friday at 6 p.m. It is unfortunate that we are here on a Friday. Motion to reconvene, please. I need to hear the motion, please. We need a motion to reconvene.
Motion to continue the discussion. No, to reconvene. To reconvene. Continue the discussion.
Would you take the roll, please?
Councilman Ashafi. Councilwoman Martin. She's not here. Councilwoman Manica.
Yes.
Council Pro Tem Robinson.
Yes.
Council President Thomas.
Yes. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and I want to remind the citizens. Our focus here is one thing. They said it's to discuss, which I've heard as I watched the Zoom meeting, and to vote if council will approve an outdoor event concert for Avalon Village to take place on July 30th. Let me just state for the record, we do not have the authority to approve this event. It has already been approved by the city. We do not have jurisdiction. That is the reason why I was not here. We do not have jurisdiction. I am also the chairman of the zoning board. There are no restrictions on zoning for transit-oriented development for that area. There are no restrictions. There are no restrictions. I have the zoning ordinance here. These people don't like for me to pull it up on the screen. I can run that screen for them as well. Okay.
Can we get back to the residents, please?
So what the chair will do is the chair will entertain a motion on the vote, and that's when we can have a discussion, and that's when the sisters can come back up to the podium. The proper procedure based on Robert's rule. Remember, we had an opportunity to have parliamentary support, and 3 out of 5 of us voted it down, so we don't have it. So we have to rely on our own knowledge of Robert's rule. There needs to be a motion on what we're going to vote on. Once that motion is made and there is support provided for it, the floor is open for discussion. At such time, we can hear testimony from members of the city government who are responsible for this and those participants who are involved in this activity. Until such time as we have a motion for what we're going to be voting on, we're just here enjoying each other's company. So if someone would like to make a motion on what will be voted on tonight. I did, ma'am, I did. The chair was willing to entertain that. Do we have a motion?
I would like to make a motion. I would like to make a motion after careful consideration and a lot of information that was not given to us at first. I would like to make a motion to approve the event.
Second.
So
With discussion, we have to finish.
the way
the
that,
discussion.
yes, ma'am. So the way that the procedure works, no matter what the issue is, members can either make a motion to approve it or the item dies for lack of support. Once the motion is made to approve, it requires the second of another member of city council. Once that motion is made, the floor is open for discussion. So we're at the phase of discussion. When I walked into the meeting, there was a young lady at the podium. I would like to invite her back.
Who seconded the motion?
We have a second. We have a second.
Ms. Manager.
So and forgive me for, ma'am, maintaining order in this environment is challenging. And I have the whole city of people who are expecting us to conduct ourselves like adults. And so sometimes I have to manage that. And so forgive me for coming in as abruptly as I did. I live here. This is embarrassing. This is going to be on the news tonight. So I was compelled to be here as opposed to where I was. So ma'am, the floor is yours. I will hold you to a time limit. The structure and order that I'm referring to is something that I adhere to on a regular basis. That requires that there be a time limit for people to speak. This is a special meeting. Traditionally, that time is 2 minutes. I'll extend that to 3 minutes due to the nature of the questions, the dialogue, and so forth. So if you would pick up where you left off, ma'am, and please forgive me for interrupting you.
Basil.
Pardon?
Basil.
Basil. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just would like to say that I appreciate your time. I'm upset. I'm a little shaky and upset because this is a very passionate subject for us. We want people to be safe because I've had 2 brothers killed here in the city of Highland Park. That thing is number 1 for us is safety. So, and Mama Shu tries to make sure that she does everything that she needs to do, get all of the approval that she needs to get. And so we would just like to work with the city, and we would like the support of the city and the council within the village, within the Avalon Village. We do a lot for the children. We do a lot for the elderly. We do a lot for the people. We do a lot. And a lot of the times it comes out of our pockets. You have no idea. A lot of the times it comes out of our pockets. This is for the love. And I do it for the therapy because of my 2 brothers being killed. I do it for the therapy, and we give. And if you need the if you need the information, if anybody in the community needs the information, please come to us. We have, and we give what we have, and we give what we can. We just need the support. We would like to compromise, and we would like to work with the city so that we can have some things here. Because when I was young, we didn't even have a library. I'm 35 to give you perspective. We didn't have a library. And that was like 20 years ago. We didn't have anything. We didn't have any programs. We didn't have anybody doing anything the music, was it, Mama? The music, we had the music festival. The music festival was all we had. So we're trying to give more to the city. We're trying to do more for the city. Please bring your children. Elderly, please come out. I'm going to be giving out soup and things to people this winter. The people that are cold, the people that are out here, I'm going to be giving out food and stuff. Please let people know. Please come out and enjoy some of the festivities that the village has to offer because we do it for the people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
1 second. Do we have the information that we need to call for a vote?
I'll let the rest of the rest.
We are. I asked a question. Do we have the information that we need to call for a vote?
Yes.
I asked a question. This is called a poll.
No, we do not.
Okay, sir, would you mind stating your name?
My name is Daryl Woods. I want to say that I can appreciate the fact that there's a consensus to be able to get this approved. Mama Shu is a servant, not only in this city, but throughout this country. She has made a wonderful impact on the lives of children, have visited the village on numerous occasions. I work with Say Detroit. Say Detroit is a proud sponsor, a co-sponsor of some of the things that she do in this city. We raise over $2 million a year through Mitch Album. And she's always a recipient for years and years of that because of the work that she does in this city called Highland Park. We worked together with this city to bring in the vaccinations, and because it was inspired by Mother Shu and other leaders of this city to make sure that Highland Park was not ignored during the COVID crisis. And we also work with her in so many spaces to be able to help reduce violence in the community. This woman is an angel on earth, and we stand with her. I'm an original Highland Parker. I'm also the chair of the Detroit Board of Police Commission, and a person who have been impacted by violence as well. I've been shot myself when I was 14 years old. And so they know of the trauma that this sister has been through for all of these years, the pain and the suffering, but she still is dedicated to the city of Highland Park to serve and love on this community, to wrap her arms around this community. And so this is not a time for us to turn on each other. It's a time for us to turn to each other. Detroit experienced one of the worst the worst mass shooting in the state of Michigan, where 21 people were shot. And 15 girls were shot in that, all young children. Mama Shu is a lifeline in this city. And she's wrapping her arms around these children to give them hope, to give them education, to give them inspiration. And so we all need to unify and come together and participate in this. And I've talked with the sheriff's department. I work with the sheriff's department to ensure, because she asked me to do it. And the sheriff himself said that he would do everything he can to have representatives here to be able to help secure and protect this city during that time. But it's going to be a festive time. It's going to be a loving time. It's going to be a caring time. So I ask all council members, all Highland Park, to come out and just love on these children, have a good time. KRS-One, he do edutainment. He's not a person who's going to be dropping it like it's hot and doing all that negative stuff. He's a person who's going to inspire this community to be better. And I say, look, I pray for you guys. I'm not here to throw no stones at nobody, but I said, just operate in love. And this is the city of Highland Park where the polar bears are at. And so let's act like that, and let's be inspired for do good in this city. Much love and much respect.
Thank you very much.
My name is Gerald.
Hold on just a second. Yes, sir, I appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Manica. So I arrived at the meeting late. When I got the notice about the meeting, I said I wasn't coming because this is some foolishness. This is the type of narcissistic antagonism that the city has been suffering for the last year and a half. Why in the world would you do this to these people, traumatize them, and make it seem as if they don't have the jurisdiction to do what they already got approval to? Why would you do this type of narcissistic BS? I've been here 24 years, 24 years. And the only thing that I can look forward to for my children in this city is activities going on over at Avalon Village. There's never been a single incident, not a single incident, to raise these type of concerns. We are the city council. We get made aware of everything that is relevant to us and within our purview. We all knew it. This concert has been advertised all over social media for the past 2 months. You'd have to be living, you'd have to have your head in a hole to not know that KRS-One is coming here. You get on Instagram and hear other artists from Baltimore, from Philly, okay? All the 5 boroughs talking about KRS-One coming to Detroit, coming to Avalon Village. So this is some narcissistic, antagonistic BS that is part of a pattern, that goes back to members walking out of the meeting. So the people who are here, you need to hold them accountable. So other people had they say, now I have my say. Ms. Manica, I'll go ahead and recognize you.
I want to let you speak, sir, but I want to make sure first, I'm sorry, my mic's not on, but can you hear me now? Okay, I want to let you speak. I want to let you speak, sir. But what I want to know is there any actual person who lives in Highland Park who would like to speak other than Ms. White, who already spoke? Okay, you actually live in Highland Park, don't like to speak, because that's what the council would like to hear. And then after that, I'm really gonna ask for a vote.
Yep.
But go ahead, sir.
All right. Real quick. My name is Derek Kearney. I'm the second half of the promotion for this event that's coming to Highland Park. I'm from the east side of Detroit. I'm not from Highland Park.
I'm a east side D-boy, red zone.
Detroit Ketter. Went to high school with Mama Shoe.
Okay.
Okay. We've been putting this ideal for 5 years when I first came to Highland Park to visit the village. She went through some tragedies in the family. We all know the stories.
Yeah.
We know she's been all over the world and everything. Okay, right. So when we put this event together, when I reached out to KRS-One, because I have a personal relationship with KRS-One, we just had him here last year in Detroit, but we get ready to have him in Highland Park. He's been telling the hip hop brothers, you just mentioned LL Cool J, Rakim is next, Nas is coming next. They coming to Highland Park. She a bad girl. The Avalon Village is so hot in the hip hop community. Social media, that video that KRS-One, it went viral. They're not talking about Detroit. They're not talking about Toledo. They're not talking about Chicago, Milwaukee. They talking about New York. They talking about Highland Park. Y'all city is the 24-hour special they had. I saw that. Y'all city is building. It's coming up. We see it. It's going to happen. Just like Detroit was down. You go downtown now, but we talking about Highland Park. KRS-One was just on the phone with me. He wants to talk to you because you said you grew up listening to KRS-One. I just set something up for you to be on the phone with him. That's only if you want to do it. So I need to talk to you after this is over. Well, let's get this business together because she's been working hard and her husband, Roy, they've been doing a lot. And we've been promoting this for 3 months for Highland Park. Okay, that's all I want to say. All right, appreciate you.
Peace, everyone. My name is Lucy, Mama Nandi, whatever. And you know, the way this is going, it's not a bad thing that we're here together. This thing should have been discussed. And that's why we're here, because we do have concerned people about the community, and it's a good thing. It shouldn't be no animosities here about this. We want to know what's happening in our city, what's going on, and we should be concerned about violence and things of that nature. Not that KRS-One is going to bring that. It's a lot of people. I love KRS-One. I can sit on my porch and listen and all that good stuff. So it shouldn't be no anger here. But there are rules and regulations to everything. So this is to set things in motion to make Highland Park better. That's all. It's just to make Highland Park better, not to jump down on you, mama, at all. Not. It's a reason why we're here. God has us here for a reason. We're a small city, we're a Black city, and we need to work together and build together. This brother, he's not a bad brother. He's the best counselor I've ever seen. He asks questions that city people who here wants to know and wants to answer. We're gonna build, we're gonna continue. Nobody's on nobody's head about nothing. But the anger, all has to stop. It's okay. Mr. Williams, he's a good man. The sheriff's gonna make sure, and you know, and all of this kind of thing, it do have you ask questions. Who said bring the Wayne County here? What about our police? Last week I was at a meeting, they gave them raises. And so they're not enough to work and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of questions that could be brought up, but I think it's a setup for good things to come. And it's just to put things in motion where everything moves smooth. That's all. It's a setup for things to move smooth in this community, because there's a lot of goddamn shit backbiting going on, people talking and shit. Let's talk right here in front of the council people, because at the end of the day, this is who we see, and they brings the rules and regulations to us that they get from the upper people, you know? So we shouldn't be so hard on them. Everything's gonna work out fine. Everything is in divine order to work out fine. So all this anger, argument, it's gonna be okay. It's really gonna be okay at the end of the day. Right on? Right on? Everything gonna be. And Jamal Thomas, stop being so angry. You come out here, you said you weren't gonna be at the meeting, and come out here and bring all this animosity.
Man, if you're gonna direct that question towards me, I have a very good reason to be angry.
You don't.
Your time is up first. Your 3 minutes is up.
Yours up too.
I have a reason to be angry because of the food. No, ma'am, I will not. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Call for the vote. We're calling for the vote.
No, it ain't time for the vote.
Ma'am, you are finished.
Yeah,
You are finished. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Stop being so harsh on us.
Ma'am.
Of the community.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have absolutely every reason to be angry. I have absolutely every reason to be angry that our city is dragged on a weekly basis. Absolutely every reason.
Absolutely.
Hold on, Mr. President.
Yes, ma'am.
I
I'm sorry, ma'am. I was talking to them. Forgive me for that. Please go right ahead.
No, I mean, go ahead, I'm gonna listen, but you were saying call for the vote. I didn't have my hand up 3 or 4 times.
Then, ma'am, as far this is our meeting, so we should address your issue first before we get to the citizen.
You finish writing my questions.
You're writing your questions?
Yeah.
Okay. How are you, sir? Would you mind stating your name for the record?
My name is Ali Darul. I am a resident of Highland Park. I'm also a resident of Avalon Street. Been there for the last 6 years. I've grown up in Highland Park and know Mama Shu personally and the work that her and the stewards of the community have been doing to really better the community. I myself work in clean energy nationally. We've had the opportunity to help support and deploy some of the solar that's been afforded to the community. But when I tell you that nationally, people are looking at Highland Park as the model, and the work that Avalon Village is doing as Eco Village, and the example that it's creating as a model for a village, this is 100% the case. We have people from the suburbs coming to us trying to see how we're doing these models, right? So when we're coming to a space and Mama Shu has, it's art that's showing our culture. It's showing our expression of who we are as, us as melanated people. And so when she's creating spaces and events for people that are of conscious mind to come and share with the people, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What that would normally really just step over Highland Park and avoid Highland Park and say that it's too dangerous of a place to actually put on an event of any importance. All of these people are actually coming as a result of the influence that has been afforded to Avalon Village and the work that has been done there. So I have 2 children. I have a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old. And so I bring them to these events because they have an opportunity to have culture, they have an opportunity to get educated, they have an opportunity to learn about themselves. And so if there is an opportunity for Highland Park to get its name out and to bring more influential people in, we've had funding from the Department of Energy because of the work that we've been doing in clean energy and Eco Village, and various numerous federal agencies that have been looking at Avalon Village for an example. I would ask that we continue that momentum. I would ask that, if there is an opportunity for, the city of Highland Park and Avalon Village to work, I guess, more closely to enable these kinds of activities, that it would be for the betterment of everybody, for the residents, for the children, and for the city at large.
Thank you, sir. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause. Yeah, we have to take a pause for a second. We'll get back to you. We are, again, out of order. This is a special meeting. There's a motion on the floor. We need to call for the vote. Never, hold on, no, sir, hold on. You just happen to be standing there. It could have been Ali, but you're just standing there now. It could have been Ms. Fry. What I wanted to drive home to members of City Council is this is a special meeting. The purpose of the special meeting is to discuss the one item on the agenda It is not to hold public comment. I watched from 6:10 to now, over an hour of public comment. We are out of order. So from here, Ms. Banner was going to call for the vote. You said you had your hand raised. We need to address our agenda. This is a 6:30 p.m. meeting on a Friday when Highland Park City Council is in recess. So we will address city council people first.
This is a violation of my First Amendment right.
Sir,
you continue to
I'm
violate
sorry.
my First Amendment
I'm sorry,
right.
sir.
I'm the
sorry, sir.
president of the board of directors for the school. I
Excuse me,
live in
sir.
Highland Park.
Excuse
I
me,
live on
sir.
Cortland Street.
Excuse me.
I
Bailiff, would
asked
you
the
please
council
escort this
members
man away
to
from the
vote to
podium?
allow me to speak.
Would you please escort? I'm having a discussion with my council members. You could have waited, sir. You could have waited. You could have waited. I acknowledged you. I acknowledged you and said, hold tight. I acknowledged you and said, hold tight. And at every meeting, you try to act like you sitting in one of these 5 chairs. I asked you to wait. I did. Everybody heard me say it. Okay, so to the members of city council, we have an item on the floor. There has been a motion made. We have heard over an hour of deliberation. Right now, my conversation is going to be with members of city council only to get your questions addressed. Ms. Martin, you have questions written. If you want to be heard, sir, as soon as we get finished, you can be heard.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Okay, so the first thing I heard is, it was saying that why are we here? Well, first off, city councils, the first position that city council has is we always got to worry about the safety of the people. So that's always our number one first concern. So I do have a couple of questions. One, I'm curious why this event didn't come before city council when we had a parade that did. We had Juneteenth that came in before city council. This just needed to be a discussion. I saw that there was an email that was sent to me talking about this is an attack. This is not an attack. I realize this is something positive for Highland Park. This is something that Highland Park needs. It's positive for Highland Park. It can bring new businesses. It can be more residents. We have an ability to have, we at one point had 56,000 residents in Highland Park. Now we're lucky if we have 5,000 at this point. That's not even a third of 56,000. So I am aware of what this could bring and what this could mean for Highland Park. Now, I don't stand exactly everything that Mr. Ashafi says. Like, for example, we can't compare what happened in Detroit at the possibility of what can happen in Highland Park. That's like comparing apples and oranges together. You cannot do that. It's not even the same city, doesn't have the same residents. It doesn't even house the same type of tradition that Detroit does. KRS-One is not even that type of rapper. He's not a rapper that brings, I am somebody who supervises at the Little Caesars Arena. Something I realize about every artist, they attract their tribe. KRS-One is not that type of rapper where he attracts people who are bringing in guns, drinking, attacking people. He's not that type of rapper. He's more of an educator, a unity type of rapper. That's the type of rapper he is. So that's not where I'm standing or what I'm worried about. Some of my questions are, we talked about volunteers. How many volunteers, how many security, how many sheriffs is going to be there? If there's people that are paying like $50, you can attract, you're saying 2,000. That's a lot of people. That does make a big difference. Believe it or not, there are some residents that feel unsafe. We've had events in Highland Park many a times, and they were affected. They were affected by people parking, blocking their driveways. There are people parking on their lawns. What are we doing to prevent that from happening with this event? I don't want to see it not happen. I actually want to see it happen and be successful. There's plenty of events that has happened for. What are we doing with this event that's not going to happen with this? That's my one question. The other question I have is we also need residents who live here, and if their driveway is blocked, we need them to be able to get out just in case anything happens at their home. They need to get to the hospital, whatever happens. We still need that egress where, it's not affecting the citizens. My next question is, why aren't we having that in the rec center, guys? Why we can't have it at the rec center? What's going on with that?
So we're talking about private property. We're talking about private property.
it's,
Put a banner
it's
up, let it
private,
be known,
it's
let it be
private
known it's
property.
Avalon Village. Have a banner, have lights, have shirts. You can still be at the
Private,
restaurant
Madam Pro
and
Tem,
let
I
it
see
be
you after, right
known.
after Ms. Martin
And
is
let it
finished.
be known that it is
Hold on a
definitely
second, hold on a
Avalon
second,
Village.
Ms. Harris.
Put Avalon's footprint on it.
So
may
hold
I
on a
answer?
second. We can't have,
But
sir,
respecting other-
sir, we cannot have sidebar conversation
Karan,
with people in the audience with members of.
Realize that it's a residential
Ms.
street.
Martin.
It's not even zoned for that.
Ms.
You're
Martin.
affecting other residents.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay,
There's other residents that call. How do you sit up there and have an event, 2,000 plus people? KRS-One is a great rapper.
We had
He's well known.
10,000
Right, and then we're talking about Nas. That's awesome. I'm glad they're looking at Highland Park. Highland Park is, you know what? I'm ready to change the narrative of Highland Park. I'm ready for economy to come in here. I'm ready for revenue to come in Highland Park. I'm ready for residents to come in Highland Park. I'm ready for developers to come in Highland Park. I'm ready for businesses to come into Highland Park. I'm ready for that. But what I'm asking you is, how do you sit up there and not affect the other residents? You got to remember, they still live here. Some of them, believe it or not, don't want it. Now, they don't want, not the event, but they're not willing to be blocked in their homes to be affected by the event. They want it to be successful. They want it to happen. That's why I'm asking you that. You know, Miss White is the only one. Miss White is not the only one that feels like that. You know what I'm saying? She's the only one that is actually willing to voice her opinion, but she's not the only one that's feeling that way. That's why I'm saying that. The rec center can, my thing is, put your stamp on it. I am supportive of what you guys are talking about. I also noticed that the email said the word of attack. Who's attacking? Where did that word? Attack is never positive. Ain't nobody throwing stones, casting stones, saying you're wrong, don't do it. I don't feel that way. That's not even where I'm standing. Yes.
So we will not. We will not. So right now, do we have all the information that we need to call for the vote?
No.
Is that your last?
No.
We're not gonna never have it.
There's no, first, let me start again, as member of the city council, those of you who called this meeting, the clerk has just informed me, there is no resolution for this meeting. There is nothing.
So.
The clerk just informed me that you called a special meeting, that when I walked through the door.
Or deny the application.
You're right, you cannot approve or deny the application. There is no resolution. We have no authority. We have no purview. The mayor is standing right there. Why are we here at 7:30 on a Friday to have this conversation about something we have absolutely no control of? We're having a conversation about 2,000 people. When 11,000, it was more than, we said 10. There's 11,000 people on Avalon between Woodward and Second last year. 11,000 people. And when I drove in here from Grand Rapids that same day, there was not a single incident. In fact, I was able to park my car, didn't lock the door because that was me, and I walked from in front of the college all the way over to Avalon Street and back. I was there for 2 hours.
Excuse me.
No, sir.
Council.
Madam Pro Tem, you have your hand up.
It's resolutions and it's.
We do not have a resolution. Madam Pro Tem has had her hand up for the last 5 minutes. So ma'am, Madam Pro Tem, the floor is yours. I'll be leaving shortly.
I am too.
The great thing.
They have.
Yep.
My concern is misinformation, rumors. We've had meetings to discuss things. They told somebody, people been calling me, Ms. Harris, telling me that you're gonna block them. What were to happen? So that's why we need to have these conversations.
I know it's not true.
So, and I understand that, and I don't know if I can speak now or whatever, but I wanted to ask you, address some of the things that you said. It's private property. That's the only reason why I didn't come and have a conversation with it. I filled out an application and I did all the proper things that the city has for me to fill out. That's it. Rumors, I gave you the application inside of your packet too, Ms. Martin. You have all the details about security, who we were gonna have, all of that. I tried to be very, very detailed in those applications. I don't know whether y'all read thoroughly through the applications, but it is on there specifically.
Wait, before you speak, sir, because actually we were done with taking.
Absolutely.
I did want to point that out, that some of that information is present right there.
It is.
It does end at 11, and I just want to make sure, I'm not sure on this, but are these the residents that live on that block?
Well, the unfortunate thing is that on our block, it was terribly blighted. So it's only 6 residents. So what I did was that I got signatures of folks that live on Buena Vista, you know, to be able to get signatures, to be able behind me, because I know that they're affected. And also what we do is that we pass out flyers and we go to each of the residents and we let them know. We used to do letters back in the day to let them know, hey, this is going on, and give them a flyer of every single thing that is actually going on. We let them know that we having a party or we're having a fundraiser down there. This particular fundraiser is for the music program for Avalon Village. And that's what I was saying. If there was rumors or anything, I am sitting on the porch. Anybody can call me about anything. Everybody's always so gung-ho to believe rumors and this and that and not know the facts. And I'm accessible. I come here and talk about the events, anything that we have, camps, everything. I give you the details. I talked several years ago even about building the village, all years before, what we were doing.
Yes,
I've been very, very detailed. So I put all the information in each of it, and then also applied for each event that we had well in advance so that you guys can actually look at things and see what it is that we're doing. The information is clearly there. I don't know what else to do.
So stop, pause right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not have a resolution. We don't have a written resolution.
Yeah.
We have a motion on the floor for an item that we don't have control over, that the mayor can veto. As chair of city council, it is in my purview that the business of the city of Highland Park is complete, and I would declare this meeting adjourned. Good night.
That was so loud. That was very